You know that feeling when you check your bank statement at the end of the month and wonder if there's some kind of glitch in the system? Like, surely you couldn't have spent that much money on what feels like absolutely nothing. No big purchases, no wild shopping sprees, just the usual stuff. Yet somehow your account looks like it got hit by a financial tornado. Well, here's the uncomfortable truth that nobody wants to admit. We're all getting played by products and services that used to make sense but now exist purely to drain our wallets while delivering less value than ever before. My name is Alex, and I've spent years analyzing spending patterns and figuring out why so many people feel financially stuck despite earning decent money. Today we're diving into 10 things that have quietly transformed from reasonable purchases into complete money traps. Some of these might surprise you, others will probably make you a little defensive, but all of them are costing you way more than they should. If you've ever wondered why your money seems to evaporate faster than it used to, make sure you stick around for this entire breakdown. Let's start with something that's going to hit close to home for a lot of people. Coffee shop visits have morphed from an occasional treat into a daily financial bleeding that most people don't even notice anymore. Remember when grabbing coffee was a simple $2 transaction? Those days are ancient history. Now you're looking at $5, $6, sometimes $8 for what's essentially hot water mixed with beans and milk. The math is brutal when you actually sit down and calculate it. $5 a day, 5 days a week, for a year equals $1,300. That's more than most people have in their emergency fund, spent on something that disappears in 20 minutes. But it gets worse when you factor in the psychological trap these places have perfected. They've created this whole culture around their brand, making you feel like you're not just buying coffee, you're buying an experience, a lifestyle, a moment of sophistication in your day. Meanwhile, you could make perfectly decent coffee at home for about 30 cents per cup. The quality difference isn't nearly as dramatic as the price difference, but somehow we've all convinced ourselves that this daily expense is essential to functioning as a human being. Moving on to something that affects almost everyone but flies completely under the radar. Premium gas has become one of the most successful marketing scams in automotive history. Unless you're driving a high-performance sports car with specific engine requirements, you're literally throwing money away every time you choose the expensive option at the pump. The difference between regular and premium can be 40 to 60 cents per gallon, which adds up to hundreds of dollars per year for the average driver. Your regular car engine is designed to run perfectly fine on regular gasoline, and putting premium fuel in it provides zero benefit whatsoever. The gas companies know this, but they've done an incredible job convincing people that premium gas somehow cleans your engine better, improves performance, or extends your car's life. None of that is true for standard vehicles. You might as well be paying extra for the privilege of watching the same gasoline flow into your tank while feeling slightly more sophisticated about it. It's pure psychological manipulation designed to separate you from your money for absolutely no practical benefit. Here's one that's going to make some people uncomfortable, but it needs to be said. Organic produce has become a premium pricing strategy that preys on health anxiety and environmental guilt. Now, before anyone gets upset, I'm not saying organic farming is bad or that conventional produce is superior. What I'm saying is that the price difference is often completely unjustified by any meaningful difference in nutritional value or safety. You're frequently paying double or triple the price for fruits and vegetables that are virtually identical to their conventional counterparts. The organic industry has done a masterful job of marketing fear about conventional farming while positioning their products as the only safe, healthy, environmentally responsible choice. Meanwhile, numerous studies have shown that the nutritional differences between organic and conventional produce are minimal at best. You're not getting dramatically more vitamins, minerals, or health benefits by choosing the expensive option. You're getting the same apple with a different sticker and a much higher price tag. Extended warranties represent another category of purchases that made sense decades ago, but now exist primarily to generate profit for retailers. Modern electronics and appliances are generally reliable enough that they're unlikely to break during the extended warranty period. When they do break, it's often after the warranty has expired anyway, or the cost of repair through the warranty program ends up being nearly as expensive as just buying a replacement. The math rarely works in your favor with these warranties. They're priced based on the assumption that most people will never use them, which means you're essentially paying for insurance that benefits the company selling it far more than it benefits you. If you took the money you'd spend on extended warranties and put it in a savings account instead, you'd probably come out ahead when you actually need to repair or replace something. Let's talk about something that hits every household but gets overlooked because the individual cost seems small. Name brand medications and health products have convinced millions of people to pay premium prices for identical active ingredients. When you buy the expensive brand name pain reliever instead of the generic version, you're paying for marketing and packaging, not for better medicine. The active ingredients are exactly the same, manufactured to the same standards and regulated by the same agencies. This isn't just about over-the-counter medications either. Vitamins, supplements, first aid supplies, even basic health products like bandages and antiseptics often carry massive markups when they have a familiar brand name attached. You could cut your medicine cabinet expenses in half by choosing generic versions without sacrificing any effectiveness or quality. The only difference is the label and the price tag. Premium bottled water deserves its own mention because it represents one of the most successful marketing campaigns in human history. We've been convinced to pay thousands of times more for water than what comes out of our taps, despite the fact that tap water in most developed countries is perfectly safe and often tastes identical to the bottled versions. Some premium water brands literally source their product from municipal water supplies, put it through basic filtration, and then charge you a premium for the privilege of drinking it from a plastic bottle. The environmental cost is staggering, the financial cost adds up faster than you think, and the health benefits are essentially non-existent compared to filtered tap water. If you're concerned about water quality, invest in a decent home filtration system once and enjoy years of clean water at a fraction of the cost. Stop paying premium prices for something that falls from the sky for free and flows from your faucet for pennies. Gym memberships have evolved into one of the most predatory recurring expenses in modern consumer culture. The average person pays for a gym membership for months or years while using it sporadically at best. The fitness industry counts on this behavior, designing their business model around people who pay but don't show up. You're essentially subsidizing the workouts of the people who actually use the facilities regularly. The rise of home fitness options, outdoor activities, and free workout resources online has made expensive gym memberships largely unnecessary for most people's fitness goals. Unless you specifically need access to heavy weightlifting equipment or specialized machines, you're probably paying for convenience and motivation that you could find elsewhere for free or at a much lower cost. What's something you've stopped buying that saved you money? I'd love to hear about your biggest money-saving revelation in the comments below. And hey, if you're getting value from this breakdown of financial traps, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, but only if you actually want to see more content like this, because I'd rather have viewers who are genuinely interested than people who subscribed out of politeness and never watch anything. The subscription service trap has reached absolutely ridiculous levels, and most people don't even realize how deep they're buried in monthly payments for things they barely use. Everyone's got Netflix, sure, but then there's Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, Apple TV, Spotify, YouTube Premium, and about 15 other services they signed up for during free trials and forgot to cancel. Each one seems harmless at $10 or $15 a month, but when you add them all up, you're looking at $100 or more every single month for entertainment subscriptions. Here's the kicker though, most people actively use maybe 2 of these services regularly. The rest just sit there, quietly draining your account while you tell yourself you might watch something on them eventually. It's like paying rent on apartments you never visit. The streaming companies know this, which is why they make canceling such a hassle and offer those tempting free trials that automatically convert to paid subscriptions unless you remember to cancel at exactly the right time. The same pattern applies to software subscriptions, fitness apps, meditation programs, news websites, and cloud storage services. Everything that used to be a one-time purchase has been transformed into a monthly payment, and companies love it because they get predictable revenue from customers who forget they're paying. Meanwhile, you're hemorrhaging money for digital services that add minimal value to your life. Fancy kitchen gadgets represent another black hole for hard-earned cash that people rarely acknowledge. Walk into any home goods store and you'll find hundreds of specialized devices designed to solve problems you didn't know you had. Bread makers, pasta machines, air fryers, instant pots, espresso makers, juice extractors, food dehydrators, and countertop convection ovens. Each one promises to revolutionize your cooking experience and save you time and money in the long run. The reality is that most of these gadgets get used enthusiastically for the first few weeks, then gradually migrate to the back of cabinets where they collect dust for years. You could accomplish the same cooking tasks with basic pots, pans, and an oven, but somehow we've been convinced that we need specialized equipment for every possible food preparation scenario. It's like having a different tool for every single screw in your house instead of just owning a decent screwdriver set. The marketing around these gadgets is particularly insidious because it targets our desire to eat healthier, save money, and become more domestic. They promise convenience and efficiency while delivering countertop clutter and buyer's remorse. Most people would be better off investing in a few high-quality basic cooking tools and actually learning to use them properly. Premium phone cases and accessories have become a bizarre status symbol that makes no logical sense. People spend $40, $50, sometimes over $100 on cases for phones that will be obsolete in 2 years. Designer phone cases, wireless charging pads that cost more than the phone's charging cable, screen protectors that require professional installation, and decorative accessories that serve no functional purpose whatsoever. The phone accessory industry has convinced us that our devices need protection that costs a significant fraction of the device's value. Meanwhile, basic phone cases that provide the same protection are available for under $10, and many phones are durable enough that they don't need cases at all if you're reasonably careful with them. You're essentially buying jewelry for an electronic device that you'll replace before the accessories wear out. This extends to other tech accessories too. Premium charging cables that cost 10 times more than basic versions, laptop sleeves that cost more than laptop repairs, and tablet stands that could be replaced with a folded piece of cardboard. The functionality is identical, but we pay premium prices for brand names and aesthetic appeal on products that spend most of their time hidden in bags or sitting on desks. Car maintenance services have become increasingly predatory, with shops recommending expensive treatments and replacements that provide minimal benefit. Premium oil changes, transmission flushes, fuel system cleaners, and other add-on services get pushed hard because they have huge profit margins. Most modern cars are designed to run reliably with basic maintenance, but service centers have learned to create anxiety about vehicle longevity to sell unnecessary treatments. The truth is that following your car's actual maintenance schedule, as outlined in the owner's manual, is sufficient for keeping most vehicles running properly. Those expensive additives and premium services rarely provide measurable benefits beyond what regular maintenance accomplishes. You're paying extra for peace of mind and the feeling that you're taking exceptional care of your vehicle, but you're not actually extending its life or improving its performance in any meaningful way. Similarly, many home maintenance services prey on homeowner anxiety about property damage and system failures. Duct cleaning services, carpet protectant treatments, and HVAC system add-ons get marketed as essential maintenance when they're often unnecessary or overpriced. Basic upkeep and regular filter changes accomplish most of what these premium services claim to provide. The pattern here is consistent across all these categories. Products and services that once offered clear value have been transformed into profit centers that exploit our fears, insecurities, and desire for convenience. Companies have gotten incredibly sophisticated at making unnecessary purchases feel essential, turning simple solutions into complex problems that require expensive fixes. The solution isn't to become a hermit who never spends money on anything. It's about developing the ability to recognize when you're being sold something based on emotion rather than practical value. Ask yourself whether the expensive option actually solves a real problem in your life, or whether it's just marketed to make you feel like a more successful, healthier, or more responsible person. Most of the time, the basic version does exactly what you need it to do. The premium option exists to separate you from your money, not to improve your life in any meaningful way. Once you start seeing these patterns, you'll notice them everywhere, and you'll probably be shocked at how much money you can save just by choosing the reasonable option instead of the marketed one. The real kicker is when you start tracking where your money actually goes versus where you think it's going. Most people would bet money that their biggest expenses are rent and groceries, but when they actually look at the numbers, they discover hundreds of dollars disappearing into categories they never even considered significant. Take premium banking services, for example. Banks have gotten incredibly creative at charging fees for services that used to be free or that provide no real benefit over basic accounts. Premium checking accounts, investment advisory services, credit monitoring programs, and identity theft protection plans all sound important and responsible. But dig deeper, and you'll find that most of these services either duplicate protection you already have or solve problems that don't actually exist for the average person. Your basic checking account does everything you need it to do. The premium version might come with a slightly higher interest rate or waived ATM fees, but when you calculate the actual benefit versus the monthly cost, you're usually paying more for the privilege of having a fancier account title. Meanwhile, free credit monitoring is available from multiple sources, and identity theft protection often covers situations that your credit card company already protects you from automatically. Insurance add-ons represent another massive category of unnecessary spending that people rarely examine closely. Rental car insurance when your auto policy already covers rentals. Travel insurance for domestic trips that last less than a week. phone insurance that costs almost as much as buying a replacement phone outright, extended warranties on appliances that are statistically unlikely to break during the coverage period. Look, the bottom line is simple. Every single one of these purchases we just talked about follows the same playbook. Companies figured out how to make you feel like you need something that you absolutely don't. Then they charge you premium prices for the privilege of feeling responsible or successful or whatever emotion they're targeting. The solution isn't complicated. Just pause before you buy anything and ask yourself if it actually solves a real problem or if it just makes you feel better about yourself. Your bank account will thank you, and honestly, you probably won't even notice the difference except for having way more money at the end of the month.